Hello, and welcome back to our Baldur's Gate 3 replay. This is Taki, and if you're just joining us, we have just started
Never wanted the easy path.
Act 3, the third and final act of the game, and are just on the outskirts of Baldur's Gate. You can see the lower city over there. That's the keep itself, or Worm's Rock. And this is, I think it's Rivington, which is the first city you get. I think over there is supposed to be Hightown, but it was never actually added into the game. And supposedly there were plans to add it in, but it just never happened. Now this is, you're looking for action. This probably isn't going to be the episode for it. There's going to be a lot of talking going on as we settle stuff with some the companions going into
Shadowheart
the
has
act.
found a little bit of herself again. Soluna cannot take all of the credit. She may have lit the way, but it is the cleric who took this step. That speaks well of your taste. I've heard my share of bad ballads about things I never did. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme. It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books, or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder? Don't tell me which. Against all life experience, I will choose to assume the best. Ask it. More than I would like. In my youth, I was a brief and very much unwilling member of a colony's hive mind. I felt the way they think, saw the world as they do. Foul, unnatural creatures who find the foulness in us and twist it to their will. But then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I. I believe you. You remind me of another I knew, marked by forces beyond their control. The gods can grant power or strip it away, but so long as your will remains, you have the only weapon you need.
All right. So a lot of this is just talking to them to wrap up storylines from the stories from the previous chapter. Oh, she's got some mugwort lying around. We're going to take that. And you'll notice we also don't have the fairy's blessing anymore, simply because we don't need it. What the
Painful
heck?
truths have been thrust upon Shadowheart. I believe she is strong enough to endure, but her path will be easier with our support. Only by reputation. She was present when we marched against Ketheric Thorm, but on the far end of the battle lines from where I fought. And in the chaos that ensued, well, our forces were scattered. I led some to safety, but never learned of her fate. I'm glad to hear she survived. Though in truth, I should not be surprised. She was always said to be formidable and cunning. I could have learned much from her, no doubt. No matter how long I live, I will always strive to remain a keen pupil. Only a fool would think he could drink in all knowledge until none is left. There is always more. Nature's tapestry is infinitely complex. I cannot help but wonder how she would have handled some of the challenges I faced as Archdruid. Defended the Grove, Korga, the Shadow Druids. At least now we can benefit from her presence, and perhaps work to a common goal. I've been unfair to you. I've had unrealistic expectations of your character ever since I joined you. But honestly, you've surpassed even those. Seems my faith was more than well-founded.
Okay, that starts along the romance line, and we don't want to do that. I swear, at one point I will find the person who devised the AI for guiding your character through stuff, and I'm going to hook them up as a freaking puppet and make them walk the stupid, retarded paths they force us to follow in this game.
Taken from the light to be raised in darkness. Your truth is finally dawning, Shadowheart. You can follow its light, or you can retreat back into dusk. The truth is finally dawning.
There we go.
Shadowheart can follow its light, or she can retreat back into dusk. No, never. He did the only thing he could. In his eyes, I invited a devil into our midst.
For a while there, Will was a bad
fool
cheesy
at
poo.
best, a traitor at worst, and Grand Duke Ravengard suffers neither. More than you know. The better question is, did he ever miss me? If he did, he missed the Will Ravengard he once knew, not the hell-touched warlock he returned to. It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck, not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see? Then, I'll fight ever harder, be ever stronger, till my deeds eclipse my appearance. The people will see a curiosity, maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe, and one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again.
Now, if we choose these selections, there's some persuasion checks to get them to accept their tadpoles and start blooming along the way. Now, supposedly for the good endings, if one of your companions is going to take the place and become an illithid to help fight, they have to have accepted this. But I'm doing a no power playthrough, trying to keep it clean. My other one, I'm used powers up the yin yang, so.
I'm listening. My own Savage would never have threatened a youngling. A waste of time and energy. The pupils themselves culled the weak from their ranks. I myself felled 4 of my own classmates once Kalir had 100 times circled Tyrell. Not every life is equal. My people have no use for cowards. Every trainee that I slayed was either too weak to withstand the lessons, or was cocky enough to pick a fight they could never win. Their lives were not precious. They were a blight that required expunging. The Githyanki are only as powerful as their weakest warrior. Jaquith de Venzir, the termination of the frail, strengthens us.
Yeah, they're brutal people. At least the Githyanki are. They're the flip side of the coin is the Githzari, who similar in appearance, have an entirely different philosophy about life. And unfortunately, you can't play as a Githzari in Baldur's Gate. But if you ever choose to play D&D, it's an option there.
An unhatched Githyanki egg should be the burden of a Vash, not a warrior, whether ascended or otherwise. And yet, I'm drawn to the warmth of it. A child of Gith grows within. Keep it close. Perhaps in our care, it might yet hatch. And don't you dare pass it to that lunatic woman prowling the mountain pass.
So yeah, she even still talks about the crazy lady, but we couldn't go back to there even if we wanted to.
Oh, enough waiting. I crave blood.
What bound? Yes, okay.
Have a lot on my
Wanted to
mind.
make sure the weapon was bound, because
Billy.
after we're done
Did you
talking
want
to
something?
everybody, there
If
is an
not,
encounter that's going to happen.
I'm perfectly happy to just gaze upon you a while. Fine. What's on your mind? No notes. You've exceeded my every expectation. Considering all we've been through, I think I was very lucky to find such favorable company. And attractive company too, no less.
Of course.
I thought you'd never ask.
So yeah, lots of kissy kissy. Now, it should bear repeating, if you chose to make her a Dark Justiciar and killed Dame Aelin, none of this happens. Any work you put in towards trying to romance her, completely out the window. She basically becomes a cold-hearted bee, and nothing ever happens.
Not sure what to feel. My parents are alive, and I need to save them. I'm lucky to have you by my side. I don't think I could face what's to come otherwise.
Oh, excuse me. Alrighty.
Time to press ahead.
Now that's it for peoples that are up in this part of camp. This is probably like our biggest camp we have.
A private word would be nice.
Poor Shadowheart. She's been jerked around so much. I want to believe the gods keep this world balanced, but sometimes I wonder. Listen, I'm never going back. If you said I could die right now or live 1,000 years in the hells, I'd choose to go out now with my freedom intact. I don't expect anyone to understand that. But I've been dealt a hand most people don't have to contemplate playing. You heard Damon. There is no solution. It's hell or bust. I choose bust. But I don't want to talk about this now. I've been given a huge gift. I can touch the people I love for the first time in a decade. And for the first time in a decade, there are people I care about all around me. Let me enjoy that, please. Thanks, soldier. I just want to celebrate this. At least for a little.
He's very, very stubborn. Oh yes. Regarding those items that went missing, they didn't actually go missing. When you change camps, they just get picked up and get thrown into here. I've already given them back to Karlach and Shadowheart. Or not, sorry. Lae'zel and Shadowheart. And then Thara should be an interesting one.
I take no pleasure in his passing. Whatever faults he may have had, Ketheric was a great leader. Of course. He ruled Moonrise for centuries. That in itself deserves respect. I believe he was an honorable man, but the gods used him as their plaything. First, Shah and her sister, then the three behind the Absolute. I sympathize. A meaningless question. If he had killed us and conquered the Sword Coast, I would envy him. As it is, he lost, and I pity him. But I will never forgive him for handing me to Orin. For that, I hope Merkel hollows out his bones and lets them be dust. A true soul came to my city preaching a message of togetherness, accompanied by 2 novices. Menzoberranzan is not fertile ground for such messages. I killed them and hanged their bodies in my garden. I would have picked prettier corpses if my intentions had been aesthetic. This was a warning against heresy. I was not content with the warning, though. I intended to wage war on their insolent god and the rest of its followers, even as the flesh sagged and sloughed away from their eyeless skulls. Their audacity infuriated me. I had to know where they came from. And whoever sent them was counting on my curiosity overcoming my caution. Yes. All it took was a simple act of necromancy, and the corpses told me where I needed to strike. Moonrise Towers. No. I was prepared for combat, but I intended to strike subtly. As it turned out, to my shame, I was defeated without even drawing my weapon. I came to Moonrise with a retinue of warriors and assassins, the best House Bainray had to offer. I expected a battle, but found a fully laden feast table and a welcome befitting a house matron. Ketheric expected us, expected me, and I fell for his flattery. Perhaps I deserved what came after the welcome as well. Ketheric proposed an alliance between Moonrise and Menzoberranzan. I admit I was captivated by him. He invited me to the head of his table as his guest of honor. I was wary, of course. If I had been in his position, the food would have been poisoned. It was not the food I should have been wary of. It was the pale woman at the foot of the table. Orin the Red. We had barely begun to eat when she spoke for the first time. I only caught one word, my name. Then, quick as lightning, she climbed onto the table, a dagger in each hand, and skipped toward me, slicing the throats out of my men as she passed them. Few things frighten me. Orin is one of them. Ketheric held me still, his hand on my shoulder, the grip tight enough to crack the bone. When Orin stood before me, she touched the dagger to my eye, drawing out a tear of blood. "I want this one," she said. Ketheric nodded his permission, and I was taken below. You've seen the horrors of the colony. Orin kept me there for days. She forced me to watch as my men were processed. Some for food, others as thralls. And then she placed the tadpole in my eye herself. That is certain. You know the rest as well as I do. There were massacres before the Grove. Religious communities mostly. Those who refused to convert. Then there was you, and now there is freedom. Soon there will be vengeance.
So I'm gonna guess that this means that when we go to face Orin, we need to make sure she's with us. And that'll be a big boost for her quest.
Vagabonds and strays. Did you have anyone particular in mind? She is intelligent, strong, and capable as both a leader and a fighter. An impressive woman. It is a shame that she devotes all of her talents and experience to the futile cause of the Harpers. Their devotion to preserving balance is pathetic. Precisely. Preservation and balance are an excuse for inaction and stagnation. There are organizations like the Harpers in every realm and every culture. I despise all of them.
Well, they just teleport? Or, oh no, Traveler's Chest. They gained, yeah. Steeped in bliss. Oh, Gale's got something to say.
I was supposed to sacrifice myself to stop the Absolute. Yeah, I don't think I could have gone through with it, in truth. And I'm glad that I didn't, given what has come to light. The Elder Brain. But, more importantly, the crown that it wore. Even without seeing it for myself, I could sense it. Netherese magic. So pure, so complete. And I doubted what I was feeling at first. Most Netherese artifacts contain only the faintest amount of their former power. The ghost of an echo of a memory. That crown was different. I can't fathom how such a wonder survived. Surely everything of its ilk was destroyed along with Netheril itself, but no matter. It exists. I must learn more of it. That crown sits on a gargantuan elder brain bent on destroying us and everything we hold dear. Understanding its true nature might unlock the means of our victory. We need to learn more about what we saw. An artifact as powerful as that crown must have been documented somewhere. As luck would have it, we'll soon find ourselves near one of the finest book collections this side of Candlekeep, Sorcerous Sundries. I need to go there and learn all I can. Ha! Sorcerous Sundries is no mere trading post. It's been serving the arcane community for centuries. Their collection of rare tomes is unparalleled. Netherese texts are hardly commonplace, but I'm certain they'll have one or two stashed away. You'll have to forgive my eagerness, but if my suspicions prove to hold water, this could be the answer to all our problems.
Aha!
The gate is closed, as is Cazador. Cazador and his rite of profane ascension. An imperial soiree, attended by devils and spawn alike. A grand ceremony to honor one exalted vampiric master. And elevate him to an unfathomable station. To place him in a position of such esteem. The world will yearn to kneel and offer their necks. Of course I envy him. Why wouldn't I? The problem with what Cazador has done is that he did it to me. If the time comes and I can stay one move ahead of him, I'll take his place before his blood can hit the floor. Doesn't it sound delightful? For the lucky little vampire on the winning side. After 200 years of shit, pure shit! I think I deserve something better. All I'm saying is, let's be clever about it. If an opportunity arises for me to become a more magnificent bastard than I already am, why turn it down? Let's find out more about the ritual before we waltz into Cazador's front door. If we track down my old comrades, the other spawn, we may discover more and be finally positioned for yours truly to ascend. We're going to Baldur's Gate, the city of 1 in a million chances, splendor and squalor. Anything could happen. If we don't find my brethren, they'll find us, likely with bared fangs. We should get to them first. Then we can make their pretty tongues talk. Unless Cazador's changed their orders, they'll be in the dens of this town, seeking prey.
What's hiding here?
So something that I feel I should point out at this point, if you choose to follow an evil character path, there are certain characters that you will lose as companion options. Withers will always stay in your camp no matter what. He's with us to the very bitter, bitter, bitter end. But ones we will lose, because one of the first big evil options there is whether you're going to help the goblins or the grove. And if you choose to help the goblins over the grove, then you lose Karlach and Will, as well as Halson. You can initially recruit Jaheira, but there is a decision that comes up in this act here that if you take the evil path on that one, you will lose her as a party member. But people you will keep. Shadowheart sticks with you if you're following the evil path, because of course you will have turned her into the Dark Justiciar. Lae'zel will stick with you. Minthara will stick with you. Astarion sticks with you. I'm not sure if Gale does or not. And of course, if you follow the evil path, you don't get Isabel and Dame Aelin here.
Looking forward to a bit of rest, if I'm honest. It's been a long century.
Begone, friend. I have a darling to adore. I am free from my bonds, but not my duty. The dead 3 are risen. The dead 2 remain. You must face them. I will help. Our thoughts are as one, my friend. You must face the chosen of Bane and Baal. I will do my part to see them laid low. Pray, ask, and I will tell. Why, she already has. She has brought her sword to your side, Dame Aelin. So mighty are her wonders, her great wisdom. Together, we will set this fair land free of tyranny and murder.
She's just a little passionate. So, that is all of our companions. Now, before we sleep, I'm going to do a quick save. Because sleeping here does indeed trigger an event that we are about to see.
The events of the last days weigh heavily upon you. Sleep's rest is slow to come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain controlled by the chosen of the dead 3. They mean to use it to take control of the Sword Coast. All who carry the tadpole are governed by the brain, and by extension the chosen. It will take but one order to transform them into an army of mind flayers. This would have been your fate too, were it not for the astral prison and the mysterious visitor inside of it. With her help, you have uncovered the cult for what it really is. A plan of conquest orchestrated by the gods of death themselves. Together, you have the power to thwart the dead 3. If if you follow this path to its end, the Elder Brain will not answer to the Chosen. It will answer to you. Will you liberate them from their parasites and their religious delusions? Or will you use the power you gain for your own purposes? You will not have long to wait. All you need to do now is sleep. But sleep is not for you.
Hear me. Gather. The reckoning is upon us. The city thirsts for domination. March. Join power.
Uh-oh.
We're under attack. Fight your way to the portal. I need your help.
Okay. Now, we have enemies in front of us. We can choose to fight and kill these people, or we can just choose to simply bypass them.
Want another? Find a route.
Now, all you need is one person to get to that portal, and
I wonder if this is worth the cost. Light on my feet.
of course, we've lost all of our bonuses here.
Anything useful?
Oh ho ho.
Victory awaits. Taking position. My faith will protect me. Moving.
Ooh, did Karlak ever take a beat down there? Holy smokes. Oh, I'm out of range. Okay, never mind that. Okay, that gives Karlak a bit of a boost.
Come quickly! I can't do this without you.
Covered.
Sometimes the only way out is through. Breathe deep and move. Here we go.
That orb is about to erupt! I'm here. Help me. I'm under attack.
Okay, so first things first.
I'm ready.
Hurry. I can't hold them back alone.
Would have fooled me, because you seem to be doing a heck of a job.
What's this?
You will be cleansed.
I love the super duper jumps. I can't believe jeez. I killed an intellect devourer that was already dead.
No holding back.
It's not over. Come to the skull.
Let's have a look.
I need you now. It's not the skull. Come to the skull.
Come on, one more. There we go.
These boots have seen everything.
Enough time wasted. Battle awaits.
Before you do anything, I am your ally. We are in danger.
Geek abomination. By the one true sky. What is this madness?
The Githyanki is the source of our protection against the Absolute. I must subdue him, or everything we've worked towards is lost. Don't let my form deceive you. I am the one that's been protecting you. I am the one that came to you in your dreams. Help me. You saved a child from a viper back in the Druid's Grove. You saved the Asima Night Soul from her soul cage. You let me live last time we were here, though it brought Blackhead's wrath upon you. Your continued existence as yourself, and not a mind flayer, should be all the proof you need. Now, help me.
Okay. This is one of those choices that's not really a choice. If we help him and we win the fight, the game continues. If we attack him, whether we win or lose, it's game over. Because Orpheus immediately recognizes the tadpoles in our heads and fries us all instantly, along with every other person that's got a tadpole in them that hasn't been converted. So it's not really a choice.
The god. Destroy the god. They prevent me from subduing their master. Do it now!
Now it should be noted, Lae'zel will not like this.
Yankee. We cannot. We must not.
Your blind loyalty will be your undoing, Mazel. Fight with me for your own survival.
Yeah, it's not a popular option, but here, so who's up? We've got yeah, he's a high level character. I mean, not to say we aren't, we're level 10s.
This is my time.
Got it.
Yeah, this is his honor guard, and they're tough. In retrospect, I probably should have popped the rage there, but now he's gonna kick my butt, or try to. I missed. Don't ask me how the heck they're doing that from that great a distance.
Destroy the honor guard.
Wait, how did the Cambrian not get a turn? Oh sure, let's burn it. We might be able to take him out. There's still a few more of them to go, so.
Let's finish this. On I go.
Yeah, that gives everybody some blade ward to help protect them. Oh, it does 10 turns of me doing that. Oh, I thought it was a one and done.
I won't give in. Seems like the best way.
Knock you on your buttocks.
On the victor's path.
Well, it was worth a shot.
Let's end this.
Sure, let's use the moonbeam. Wow. I mean, we need to take her out. She may be under part of our party for now, but oh, I stepped into the moonbeam. So that's a friendly fire ability.
Thank you. That was too close. Don't look at me like that. I am a mind flayer. Yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
It's obscene to owe my life to a damned geich. No more lies, no more tricks. I will have answers!
You may call me the Emperor. An adventurer. I came from Baldur's Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure. To a colony of mind flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now. For years, I served the Elder Brain, the one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my old city. I sustained myself on criminals. Unglamorous, but there are plenty of them, rarely missed. And they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stelmane. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield, the largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence, though of course they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while. Until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call the Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become. Indeed, his hubris knows no bounds. To enslave me, that was his nature. But to enslave an Elder Brain, a questionable decision. I shall look forward to sharing his downfall with you.
Well, there's so much more to this guy's story that we'll find out later.
Rather them than potential future allies, like you. We fought to tame Prince Orpheus, the son of Gith herself.
Orpheus? Impossible. He was slain by Shastil Kithrak himself.
Quite possible, I assure you. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus's mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus's mother left, a usurper took her place. Blackith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Blackith wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prison. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my honor at Prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you can help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control.
Haven't actually embraced any potential. Except for Minthara, who's like all for this.
No. Gortash sent me on a mission to retrieve the astral prison. I was one of many, but the first to find it. How Gortash or the other chosen learned of its existence, I do not know. The moment I found it, I felt a change. My free will returning. I followed the feeling inside, and found Orpheus. I realized what the prison was for. Containment. While my body was within the prison's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain, the Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue Orpheus, and find allies in the outer world. You. Most certainly Orpheus. He is a threat to her reign. Some Githyanki still revere him, in defiance of their teachings. Blackith was safe as long as they believed him to be dead. But as you can see, he is very much alive.
I don't understand. The histories claim the prince was burned to ash in the skies.
Your histories are fabrications. The prince was not killed. As you can very well see, he was in prison. She kept him this way because she was reluctant to eradicate such power. Power that she might one day wish to take from him. If the Githyanki ever find out what she has done, there will be civil war. Blackith will be finished. That would be a terrible idea. moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense would be to kill him, and in so doing, he would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion, a pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another wretched illithid.
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already a illithid, a sworn enemy, just like me. I appreciate that, but this is what I am. My original body was destroyed when I transformed. When I first escaped the Elder Brain, I searched for a new vessel. But the longer I inhabited this one, the more it grew on me. I realized that returning to my former self would only impose limitations. Any advantage I could gain by restoring my original appearance, I already had to hand in the form of magic, and that humanoid shape you've come to know. As an illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You, too, should embrace this change. I believe we'll have a better chance of defeating the Elder Brain if you embrace your latent illithid potential. I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the next stage of your tadpole's life cycle, while continuing to preserve your independence. You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you. The answer is twofold. One, I can, but it would kill you, as I told you before. Two, why would I? You have done well with the limited form you have, but you would do far better as an illithid. So, do you wish to evolve or not? You will be able to do things you never thought were possible. There will be physical alterations, of course, but only partial. You will retain most of your current form, and you will soon see that the benefits outweigh any perceived loss.
Okay. Damn, it is so tempting to do this. Because if you take that option that he's given and just do the evolution, you gain all of the first circle of illithid powers that we see on the brain. As well, it unlocks the outer circle of powers, and you gain the fly ability, an ability that lets you fly as a free movement. You never need the fly spell, you just use that and away you go. It is so freaking tempting. Oh my gosh. Now, this doesn't affect story in any way doing it. It just affects what's available to you. Damn. Now, that said, if we turn him down, I believe he still gives us the Uber Parasite, and we can use it later if we so choose. Because we can also just take it and use it on Minthara as well, who's just a power-hungry nutjob. Yeah, I think if we say no, he just gives us the parasite anyways.
understand. Let us hope then that your present self will be sufficient to deal with 3 gods of death and a giant magically enhanced elder brain. But in case you change your mind...
Okay, yeah, so he does just give us the astral tadpole.
Look after it. Use it when you're ready to evolve. You or your allies. It has vitality enough for you all. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The brain has gone to the city, and the army marches to follow. We must not let them reach it. We must find the brain, and bring it under our control.
Let's see.
Enough waiting. I crave blood.
Can't give up now.
No, wait. She didn't pick up anything.
Thanks.
So nose to me.
Where am I needed?
Action, not reaction.
All right. What now? What's in here? Can't slow down.
Yeah. At our level, a regular potion of healing. Yeah, that's a wonderful, helpful thing.
Don't mind if I do.
Alrighty.
Better not be cursed.
Now we go back to the real world. Okay, actually, wait. Before we jump back to the real world. So, the Astral Touch Tadpole. See, it's got that orange circle around it. Important item. Duh. We use that, and in so doing, you gain every single one of these first tier powers. Every other power unlocks. We will gain this power here, I believe, which is fly, but everything else unlocks. Now, one of the advantages to that is, I believe it's either this path or this path, and you will unlock the, it gives you a expertise in perception and deception, and gives you proficiency in it as well. So it's kind of a nice one to have. And if you use the Astral Tadpole, it only costs you 2 tadpoles to get there. If you've already spent tadpoles on these, when you use the Astral Tadpole, all of those tadpoles get refunded, and then you get to re-pick your powers and abilities again. Okay, that was just something I wanted to mention before we go too far off the beaten path here. Why is my strength so high? Oh, I think it's I think that astral gravity has boosted our carrying capacities while we're in here. Too bad we can't keep that with us full time. Hey, so Lae'zel, of course, wants to talk about what's just happened.
Orpheus, Gith's only son. He lives. It is not the Geich visitor that Vlaakith would destroy and Voss would set free. It is Orpheus, the blood of the mother, the prince of the comet. Listen close. The Emperor spoke only in half-truths. For you to know the tale of Orpheus, you must know the tale of Gith and of Vlaakith. Long ago, when we rose up against our Geich slavers, Mother Gith made for the Hells to secure an alliance with the archdevil Tiamat. Tiamat gifted the Githyanki our red dragons. Gith remained in the Hells, and Tiamat's envoy proclaimed Vlaakith our ruler. The first Vlaakith of many. It is Vlaakith 157 whom my people now call Queen. Yes. Our current queen has claimed undeath and reigned for 1,000 years. But it was the first whom Orpheus tried to slay. Orpheus is Gith's only son. He led his mother's own honor guard in a coup against Vlaakith I. It was Kithrak Voss himself who slayed the prince in vicious battle. Or so the Varshas teach us. Yet the Prince of the Comet's been with us, subdued by that repugnant Illithid. Should Orpheus go free, he would tear Vlaakith's empire to pieces and build new glory from the scraps. We meet Voss in the city, and we obtain the key to freeing Orpheus from his prison. Every word Voss spoke, he spoke true. Orpheus is the living proof of the Queen's lies, and the living weapon that conquered our Geich slavers. One word from his lips, and the people would doubt. 2 words, and they would rage. 3 words, and they would bow to the true heir. If the Githyanki are to be free, the Prince of the Comet must lead the way. What about him? The historical slates describe Orpheus as a fearsome, terrible creature, powerful beyond measure, and enthralled by the Geich. So mad with power, he'd smash through the Githyanki Empire and deliver the shards to his illithid masters. And glowing with such psionic force that he and his red dragon blazed a trail through the skies. A lethal comet careening towards my people. Lies, of course. Vlaakith spread a false image of Orpheus as monstrous betrayer, and her knights as the butchers who sliced him through. She was right to fear him, I'll grant her that. So great is the comet, it could shatter her reign. The Emperor may be loathsome, but it's right. Orpheus can disrupt a Geich hive mind. A talent like that makes the Prince a powerful shield and a powerful weapon. Why destroy a weapon like that, when you can contain it in a relic and keep it for yourself? A weapon is only an asset for as long as it isn't pointed at you. The means of Vlaakith's own end has been ripped away from her. Better to have Orpheus killed than to risk his escape. Better to risk the rise of illithids than let the Prince of the Comet deny her the godhood she craves. Orpheus is honor guard, loyal to the end. Trapped by Vlaakith in the same prism holding their noble prince, fruitlessly hacking at the sphere that contains him. They see us as Geich, tadpoled husks in the Emperor's thrall. I regret their deaths, but I pledge to live as they perished, in the service of Gith's son. Very well.
Oh, there we go. Now, you can attempt to convince any one of the party members that has a tadpole in them already to use the Astral Touch tadpole. Okay? Doing so will drastically change appearances.
By Baldur's bones, this is a lot to take in. Let's see if I've got this right. 1, we've been carrying a mind flayer around with us this whole time. 2, it's been appearing as someone else in our dreams, cajoling us to embrace our new illithid talents. 3, the mind flayer's been siphoning a Githyanki prisoner's powers to shield us from the Absolute's voice. Did I miss anything? How could I forget? One of Baldur's Gate's most distinguished figures, a mind flayer's ally. Sensational tales, aren't they? Almost unbelievable. With a narrator so unreliable, how do we tell fact from fiction? I can't pretend I have the answer, but I know the Illithid's right about one thing. It holds our fates in its talons. Until the Absolute falls, there's no getting rid of it.
So, there's been a mind flayer inside the artifact, or astral prism, the whole time we've had it. Sounds like utter madness, even though I've seen it with my own eyes. The more I learn, the less I understand just why I was sent to retrieve that thing. But it matters little now. I do not serve Shah anymore, nor the Mother Superior. The prism is no longer my mission. Saving my parents is. But I digress. Did you want something?
Level the game can't make up its mind whether we're in our armor or not.
What's on your mind?
See, I'm not in armor, Karlak is.
Like I got something back. Something I've wanted for a really long time. When I touched you, I felt like a real person. My heart was racing, but I didn't hurt you. I don't have to be afraid of myself anymore. I don't have to hold back.
Well, apparently she's got magic hair because it's literally going through the collar of her armor.
Anyway, thanks to Dammon. Thanks to you. Thanks to fate. Ugh, I don't want to think about that now. Misery always overstays its welcome, and joy leaves too soon. I'll cry later, but not now. Touch! Touch everything! Touch everyone that'll let me. Shake hands, dance a waltz, maybe even kiss a face or two if I find a good candidate. The world's my funhouse. Me too, soldier. Gods, me too. For every knock we take, I feel like I get a little treat just to keep me going.
It is so hard not to like Karlak. It really is. Hold on, where's Minthara? Oh, ha ha ha, yeah. That's right, the only ones around right now are those who are part of our party. Everybody else has disappeared. Oh, there's another berry bush. Okay, I must send the other berries away. Good. Now we will go have our long rest. And see, we still got a ways to go before we hit level 11. But we are significantly powerful right now. Okay. So now we are officially into the new day. And can talk to people, and we'll start with Shadowheart.
Be honest. What do you think of the new look?
He's gone reverse emo.
Well, I'm glad someone does. Perhaps I'll get used to it. I have a lot to get used to right now.
Okay. My cabbages! What does Asterion have to say?
We have a new look for a new Shadow Heart. Nice as it is, she still doesn't have the best hair in the camp.
Oh, Scratch has something for us.
The dog wags his tail, a small bag clenched between his teeth.
I forgot to use Speak with Animal.
He gives in and surrenders his find to you.
I'm gonna guess chewed salami.
Scratch's tongue lolls out happily, his tail wagging even faster.
There's no more radiant sight than that of someone who's learned to love themselves anew. Shadowed in name, but no longer in spirit. It suits her.
Alrighty. Oh yeah, before I forget, let's just do this.
As you
Minthara
approach
wishes to talk.
Minthara, you feel her mind reaching out to yours, tentative and curious. Then it retreats, soft as a whisper.
Sorry. Old habits. I did not ask permission. When we first met, before moonrise, I intruded on your thoughts without hesitation and took what I needed from your memories. I would not do that again, unless I had reason to think you were hiding something from me. And I do not. I did not think we would ever share anything more than an uneasy alliance, born of our mutual enmity for the Absolute. I was wrong. A deeper bond has grown between us. I trust you. But I would like to touch your thoughts again, now that my mind is my own. May I? Of course. I do not hide anything from you. Until my time in the cult of the Absolute, I had spent little time on the surface, except to raid and pillage. I did not expect to find any outside the Underdark who saw the world as I do, and wanted from the world what I want. I did not expect you. You should be. On those rare occasions when people have surprised me in the past, I received new scars to remember them by. You are different. A pleasant surprise. One of the first in my long life. Before the Absolute, I lived a life of certainties. I knew that I was destined for greatness because I was born to it. I also knew that my inherited privilege came with a cost. That the bonds of fellowship and family could be broken by envy and ambition. I could not enjoy the taste of food for fear of poisoning, and I could not enjoy the company of lovers and friends because I feared they hid knives behind their smiles. In spite of the danger, I was happy. I knew myself, and I understood the world around me. Now, nothing is certain. Without Lolth, without the Absolute, without my home, I do not know myself. But you do, I think. Show me myself through your eyes. Let me see what I am to you.
Sure.
She joins her thoughts with yours, and you are as one. You share in her strength of mind and formidable will, but also the doubts that eat at her conviction, as doubts cluster in swarms, and the thickest is around her sense of self. She pushes past, revealing the image of her you hold in your mind. What does she see?
Well, she's not a lover. That's Shadowheart on this
Her
playthrough.
mind cools. Acceptance is colored by disappointment.
We need to trust one another if we are to survive. But I want more from you than that. I want all of you.
He's a jealous one. Oh boy.
As you wish. It is a rare occasion when I do not get what I want. But you have shown your worth in many ways. I will be satisfied to have you as an ally.
She's very forward. However, though, she is one.
Shadowheart looks different. A change of diet, perhaps? We will need every advantage to survive the battles that are to come. And my illithid parasite has already shown its worth. If this superior tadpole is capable of unlocking my mind's full potential, it is a tempting proposition. I am surprised you have not drawn on its power yourself. I will be unstoppable.
Okay, so now I'm going to pull her into the party.
Good. I do not like to stand...
Okay.
I hope this is important. For your sake.
How did I got her to use the tadpole? Why didn't it unlock the stuff? Does it not work unless I do it?
Still alive, so that's progress.
Oh, I know.
Looking ahead.
Yes?
That's it. We have to use the item.
Life pulses from within. The parasite's thoughts whisper at the edge of your mind. It wants to share itself with you. It wants to be let in.
Go on. Don't be afraid. It only wants to help you evolve.
A coldness seeps through your veins as the tadpole awakens. Its yearning almost unbearable. Your mind is a veritable feast. The
Now, if you eat it, you're the only one that ever gets to use it. You still get the benefits, but nobody else gets to use it. But this is kind of the reason not to use it.
Your mind present in every flex of a joint or
that
Perhaps, once the others see what you can do, they will consider trying it for themselves.
Yeah. That new look on Minthara is permanent. But if we now take a look at her illithid powers, you see we got Tadpole's back because stuff has been expanded. Her expanded power she still has. Her inner ring was refreshed. She can now fly, equal to her movement speed. And there, gaining expertise in persuasion, deception, and intimidation. Now, if you do play with illithid powers with your character, the ones I highly, highly recommend, Favorable Beginnings is great. Luck of the Far Realms, very good. Make sure you've got it asking you to use it so you don't waste it on a silly roll. But it turns an attack roll into a potential crit. Absolutely amazing to have. That's one I'll give her. Like, some of these are probably funky. Mind Blast. Mind Sanctuary. Oh, there we go. But, yeah, now.
No one stopped me yet.
You need to bump her out of the party.
You wish to consult me?
But, yeah, you see...
A mistake.
The veins
I am your most valuable asset.
Are there permanently. You will get fugly. There is nothing you can do about it. Not even the magic mirror can get rid of this.
When you realize your mistake, I will be ready to join you again.
Okay. And this is the magic mirror. It appears in random spots in the camps. But this allows you, once it loads up here, to change and alter your appearance, as well as your name, in any way, shape, or form that you see fit. Okay? What it will not allow you to do is you cannot change your base race, though. I chose Wood Elf. I am a Wood Elf for the entirety of the game. Whatever race you chose, you're stuck with that, but you can do all of the appearance changes. So if you've created a character and then, you know, after an hour or so of looking at them, you go, nah, you know what, that person's too fugly, or they're not fugly enough, and you can hop in and change every other physical aspect about them. Then you can either confirm your changes, or simply X out, and nothing happens.
Have to keep going. Just what I need.
I already spoke to Karlak after this, didn't I?
Shadowheart looks like a stack of gold. Never thought I could get so excited about someone's forehead, but here we are.
You saw the extent of Flo's friendship. She'll lend you a hand, long as she can crush your spirit while she's at it. I knew never to let my guard down around her. She always made me laugh, even when I least wanted to. If she'd been completely different from who she was, we might have been real friends. Thank the gods. And I do, every day.
So, there you have it. That is our party. Now again, as I said, that the tadpole powers can only be unlocked by people that have accepted them and that have a tadpole. So we talked to Halson, we're not going to get that
when
option.
I saw Shadowheart creeping about with a blade in the dead of night, but it was just to cut her hair, it seems. It suits her.
See, though, there was zero option for the tadpole there. Same thing with Jaheira, because she doesn't have the
Shadowheart walks a
tadpole.
little freer of the shadows. She could shave her skull and paint it purple. It would still suit her.
Yeah, see? Because we know they don't have tadpoles, and we don't get the option for the tadpole. Or to use the big tadpole on her. So, all that said, this is where we are going to call it for this episode. There wasn't a whole lot of excitement here, but we did get a huge lore dump on us. And there will be a couple other episodes coming up where we're going to get hit with huge lore dumps again. But that's D&D for you. If you're playing a pre-made campaign, you are going to get huge lore dumps on you all the time. But in the meantime, we're done with the lore for tonight. I want you all to have yourselves a good one. This is Takis signing out, and please